Hello, welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. This is Eric. My co-host, Mr. Brody, is here off camera as we're recording from our satellite station here in Winchendon, Massachusetts. We're actually house sitting, so we're there recording our videos. Tonight we're going to do a game from the 1961 Carl Yastrzemski rookie season using inside pitch baseball. The Red Sox are currently 10-15 on the season, and which is exactly where they were at this point of the season. They did lose today's game by a score of 13-2 to the Cleveland Indians, so if they can gain a win today, they can better their record by 1. So our quest is to try to get to at least 500. And they finished 76-86 on the season, so if we can get at least to 500, that would be a victory. We'll have to see what place they actually finished in and try to better that too. So those are a couple goals that we'll have for the season. So for the Boston Red Sox, Tom Brewer will be on the mound, and we're here at Fenway Park. Now, Tom Brewer actually started this game, but according to the Baseball Reference, he did not officially face a batter. It doesn't even say how many pitches he pitched. Let's see if I can figure that out. So I'm guessing that he went up on the mound and was about to start the game, or maybe threw a pitch or something like that, and he had an injury of some sort. Jim Wills. Is it Jim Wills? Trying to see what I can see here. Fred Wills. Looks like Ted Wills. Yeah, that's it. Ted Wills actually got the start and the loss. Well, actually came in and only lasted a short time. As we're reloading the page here. For some reason our computer's really slow tonight. Our laptop. But anyway, so Tom Brewer will start this game and hopefully pitch a little bit more into the game than not even the first batter. Anyway, he'll be going up against Jim Mudcat Grant. And Jim Brewer actually lasted... Ted Wills lasted just an inning and a third, giving up 6 runs, so he did not last long. So, alright, so those are your starters for the game. The Cleveland Indians come in with a lineup of Johnny Temple, the second baseman, bats first, who followed by Jimmy Pearsall, the center fielder. Tito Francona, father of Terry Francona, who unfortunately just passed away this offseason, just recently. I think it was the last month in February. So our condolences to Terry Francona and his family. Batting cleanup is Vic Power, the first baseman. Batting fifth is Willie Kirkland, the right fielder. Batting sixth behind the plate, John Romano. Woody Held is the shortstop, batting seventh. Bubba Phillips, the third baseman, bats eighth. And on the mound, batting ninth, is Jim Mudcat Grant. So that's your lineup for the visiting Cleveland Indians. The Red Sox outfield is as follows: Yastrzemski in left, Geiger in center, and Jensen in right. Jensen with the best range of the three in right field. Yastrzemski and Geiger with average range. All three of them with slightly above average arms. In the infield, it's Malzone, Budden, Schilling, and Wirtz. All average range except for Schilling, who's above average. And Schilling the most sure-handed at second base. And it's going to be Russ Nixon behind the plate, who is extremely poor range and commits a ton of errors and has a bad arm. So overall, really about as bad as you can get defensively behind the plate. On the mound, Jim Brewer is excellent range and does not commit any errors, about as good as you can get on the mound. So hopefully they will cancel out each other, and any would-be base stealers will not get that much of an advantage against Nixon and Brewer. So, all right, so let's see here. So, Johnny Temple steps up to the plate. He hit 226 on the season with 3 homers and 30 runs batted in. Sorry, 276 on the season. All right. So we adjust our glasses here. So Brewer looks in for the sign from Nixon. Here's the windup in the pitch. Seems like we got a delay going on here. 1-4. And it's going to be a ground out to second. Schilling has it over to Wirtz for out number 1. Next up, Jimmy Pearsall, who I believe later be on the Red Sox, or was on the Red Sox. Hit 322 on the season with 6 homers and 40 runs batted in. And he was on the Red Sox from 52 to 57. I think that's what I just read. But anyway, so he comes in, like I said, with a 322 average on the season. He steps into the box against Brewer. So here's the windup in the pitch by Brewer. And that's going to be a ground ball to third. Alzone has it over to Wirtz for out number 2, so 2 up and 2 down. Brings up Tito Francona. Extremely strong resemblance to Terry Francona, his son. 250 so far against the Red Sox with a homer. Hit 301 on the season with 16 homers and 85 runs batted in, 87 runs scored. So a very solid season from Tito. And he's going to hit a ground ball to second, Schilling up with it over to Wirtz. And the Indians go in order in the first. So we head to the bottom of the first with the score Indians nothing and Red Sox coming up. Jim Mudcat Grant had a 15-9 record in 1961 with 3.86 earned run average, 245 innings pitched, 207 hits allowed, 106 walks and 146 strikeouts. So the lineup for the Red Sox is going to be Chuck Schilling, the second baseman, will lead it off. He'll be followed by Gary Geiger, the center fielder. Batting third, the slumping Carl Yastrzemski in his rookie season, the left fielder. Let's see if he can break out of that today. Vic Wirtz is the first baseman, batting cleanup. Batting fifth is Jackie Jensen, the right fielder. Frank Malzone, the third baseman, hit sixth. Followed by Russ Nixon behind the plate. Don Budden, the shortstop, bats eighth. And number 9 hitter is going to be Tom Brewer, the pitcher. So Chuck Schilling comes into the game with a 234 batting average with no homers and 3 runs batted in. He actually did have an RBI, which we did not record in the last game, so he'll be 1 RBI behind his actual RBI total. We actually did not advance the runner on a ground out. I believe that's what it was. And we did score the run afterward, but he didn't get credit for the RBI. So the defense behind Grant is going to be Francona in left, Pearsall in center, and Kirkland in right. Pearsall with excellent range in center. Will commit very few errors and has an above-average arm. Kirkland also has an above-average range and an above-average arm in right. And Francona average range and a slightly below-average arm in left. Francona and Pearsall are very short-handed, with Kirkland will commit a few errors in right. In the infield, it's Phillips, Held, Temple, and Power. Power with extremely good range at first base, and will only commit a few errors, very short-handed at first. Phillips, Held, and Temple all with below-average range. Romano behind the plate, above-average range. Commit a fair share of errors and a slightly above-average arm. Grant on the mound with excellent range, but will commit an occasional error. So that's your defense behind Grant. So Schilling steps into the box. Here's the windup in the pitch by Grant. And Schilling will reach on a walk, so good start for the Red Sox and Schilling. So to bring up Gary Geiger, hitting .291 on the season with 2 homers and 7 runs batted in. Geiger just spent some time on the DL, just fresh off it a couple games ago. So Grant looks at Schilling at first. Gets a sign from Romano, kicks and delivers. And he'll fly out to Kirkland and right for out number 1. Pickoff play on. And Schilling's back safely. So that'll bring up Yastrzemski now. Yastrzemski hitting just .180 on the season with 3 homers and 13 runs batted. Has been stuck at that 3 homer and 13 RBI total for a few games now, as his average continues to fall. .266 hitter in the actual season. It's just a matter of time before he starts to dig himself out of the slump. So 3-5. So it'll be a ground ball to second. This could be 2. And it will be over to second for 1, back to first. And it's a 4-6-3 double play. So the Red Sox are gone in the first. And after 1 full, no score. So it'll bring up Tom Brewer back on the hill. He'll face Power, Kirkland, and Romano. Vic Power comes in. Hit .268 in 1961 with 5 homers and 63 runs batted in. So Brewer looks in for the sign from Nixon. Here's the windup in the pitch. And he's going to hit a ground ball to third. Malzone up with it, over to Wirtz. And there's 1 gone in the second. Willie Kirkland up now. .259 hitter on the season with 27 round trippers and 93 runs batted in. This is going to be a range play at Fenway Park. And that was going to be Budden is unable to get to that one. I think they called him Bootin' Budden, I think was his nickname I remember reading. He's one of the worst defensive shortstops in Red Sox history. So Bootin' Budden cannot get to this one. His range numbers aren't too bad here. For 1961 anyway. So Bootin' Budden does not get to that one, and Kirkland reaches. So it'll be John Romano hitting .400 against the Red Sox in 3 games. .299 average on the season with 21 homers and 80 runs batted in. So Brewer looks in for the sign, looks at the runner, kicks and delivers out of the stretch. There'll be another range play. And this time, Geiger's going to be able to get to it. And he'll make the catch for out number 2. As Kirkland holds at first. Pickoff play on. And he's back safely. And Brewer strikes out held for out number 3. So after 1.5, it's Cleveland nothing and Boston nothing. It'll be Wirtz, Jensen, and Malzone if anybody gets on Nixon up against Grant. Wirtz comes in hitting .268 with 5 homers and 13 runs batted in. So Grant kicks and delivers. And that's going to be a ground fly ball to right. Kirkland's there to make the catch for out number 1. Jackie Jensen up now. Having a fine season so far, hitting .360 with 3 homers and 16 runs batted in. This could be a good, it's too high a number. And he'll fly out to center for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for the Red Sox here in the second. That brings up Frank Malzone, also having a fine season. In 16 games, he's hitting .370 with 4 homers and 14 runs batted in. It's the pitch by Grant. Oh, he doesn't strike out that often, but he does here as Grant gets him. And that'll do it for the Red Sox in the second. So after 2 full, no score. So Bubba Phillips will lead it off against Brewer. Bubba Phillips, .264 hitter on the season with 18 homers and 72 runs batted in. Steps into the box. Brewer looks in for the sign from Nixon. Here's the windup in the pitch. And he'll fly out to center for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 down. Brings up the pitcher, Jim Grant, Mudcat Grant. Mudcat Grant, not a bad hitting pitcher. Hit 170 and 61 in 88 at bats with a homer and 6 runs batted in. So he's capable of going deep. And he'll draw the walk. So Grant reaches on a 1-out base on balls. Wertz holding him on, and Brewer throws over. And Grant's back safely. So that'll bring up top of the order Temple. He's 0 for 1 today. And that's going to be a base hit past Schilling. So Grant will hold at second. So runners on first and second with a 1 down. So that brings up Jimmy Pearsall, who's 0 for 1. And that's going to be a ground ball to second. Can they turn 2? Yes, they can. So 4-6-3 double play. And that'll do it for Cleveland in top of the third. So we head to the home half of the third. Still no score. So Russ Nixon will lead it off for the Red Sox. Nixon hitting .240 on the season with 5 runs batted in. That's going to be a Fenway Park check. And that's going to be a fly out to Pearsall in center. Calls for it and makes the catch for out number 1. Don Budden up now. Budden hitting .333 on the season in 27 at bats. 13 games with 4 runs batted in. And it'll be a range play for, actually it looks like it's going to be a possible base hit. And it is, as it gets past the second baseman, Temple. So that'll bring up Tom Brewer. And Brewer comes in, let's see here, just an .098 hitter with 2 runs batted in and 61 at-bats. So we're going to have him bunt, even though there is 1 out. Come on. Some reason I can't get the bunt thing to click on this. Oh, that's why. I got to put it right here. There we go. Forgot about that. And it's going to be a possible wild pitch here. So 9 is going to be a wild pitch. So that gets the job done. So Brewer does not even have to bunt. So we'll take the bunt off. And he'll strike out. So it might have been a good idea to possibly bunt and to get him over, but oh well. Not a big deal. Let's see Schilling. Let's see if Schilling can get the run home here. He walked his first time up. And they're going to try a pickoff. Oh. And Buttons back safely. And Schilling will draw a walk, so that'll put runners on first and second with 2 down. For Gary Geiger, Geiger 0 for 1. And, 2 high rolls. So Geiger will fly out to center, and that'll do it for the Red Sox in the third. So the Red Sox cannot get the first run on the board, and after 3 fulls, still no score. Tito Francona will lead it off. 0 for 1 on the day. And that's going to be a base hit for Francona. So Francona's on with a leadoff single. Francona, somewhat of a threat to steal. Has a 13 rating, so Wirtz will hold him on. As Vic Power comes to the plate. Power 0 for 1 on the day. You know, it doesn't say it here. I'm going to have him bunt because Vic Power is an excellent bunter. He's a 268 hitter, so I think we're going to have him bunt here. Seeing as it seems to be difficult to get any runs on the board so far, and that will be a successful bunt. So Francona moving the scoring position with the 1 down now. That'll bring up Willie Kirkland, who's 1 for 1. And he's going to walk. So to put runners on first and second with 1 down. With John Romano coming up. Romano's 0 for 1. RBI opportunity here. And he'll fly out. So a lot of high rolls on those split checks there. And let's see what's going to happen here. So the run Francona will hold at second as Geiger gets it back in quickly. So 2 down now. Woody held up to the plate, struck out against Bennett Brewer his first time out. And he'll draw a walk to load the bases. So the base is loaded for Bubba Phillips. Oh no, 10 is going to be a wild pitch. And a wild pitch will score the run. So Brewer throws a wild pitch and the run comes home. Did they not do that? There we go. So without the benefit of a hit, the Indians score the first run of the game. Well, at least to get the run home anyway. So that'll bring up Bubba Phillips still up there. And he will fly out to left. Yastrzemski makes the catch, and the Indians get on the board on the wild pitch by Brewer. So Yastrzemski up to the plate now. Let's see if he can break out of it. Ooh, that's going to be a range play. That could be good news for Yastrzemski. Unfortunately, it's only a low number, and Francona is able to make the catch. And Yastrzemski is retired for the second time today. So Yastrzemski's struggles continue. Vic Wertz up now, 0 for 1. As the Red Sox trail 1-0. So Wertz will draw a 1-out walk. So it'll be up Jackie Jensen. See what he can do as Power holds him on. Holds on Wertz. Wertz not a threat to steal. And this will be a Fenway Park ballpark check. And there we go. And that's a base hit. As they hold Wertz at second. So they put runners on first and second with the 1 down. So tying run on scoring position for Milzone, who struck out his first time up. And we just not draw the walk. And he'll fly out to Francona and left for out number 2. So Russ Nixon with a chance to tie the game here for the Red Sox. And he will as he gets a... Oh, no, he won't actually. As Wertz is extremely slow, even though he's off on the pitch. So that's going to load the bases for Don Budden. Budden already with a hit today. Be a perfect time for another hit here. So a base hit could give the Red Sox the lead. And that is going to be hit into the gap. So the lead runner advances. So that will knock in 2 runs. Actually, that will knock in 3 runs. And Budden will advance to third on the throw. So a 3-run double for Don Budden, advancing to third on the throw. Bases clearing double. So Don Budden comes through in the clutch with his second hit of the day. Gets 3 RBIs. So the Red Sox take a 3-1 lead. So they'll bring up Tom Brewer now. Struck out his first time up. Oh man, a home run. And unfortunately, Brewer did not hit any home runs. Ooh, this could be good though. 1-3, and that's an 11. So that is going to be a triple for Tom Brewer. So Tom Brewer with an RBI triple increases the Red Sox lead 4-1. So that brings up Chuck Schilling as his action in the Cleveland bullpen. So Schilling will draw the walk as Romano goes out to talk to Grant. Gets back behind the plate. Waiting for the pitch from Grant. Oh, you know what? I forgot to... So what happened there? Oh, Schilling drew the walk. Okay, that's right. So I'll put runners at the corners with 2 down. So Jim Dykes, the manager of the Cleveland Indians. That's Jim Dykes. Jimmy Dykes. Looks like he's discussing who to start warming up in the Cleveland pen. So Jimmy Dykes has been a manager since 19... What is that, 1959? Having trouble reading it. It's a little far away. 1930. Oh, it's 1934 he's been a manager. So 1934, he managed the White Sox from 1934 until 1946. And then he managed the Philadelphia Athletics from 51 to 53. Baltimore Orioles in 1954. Cincinnati Redlegs in 1958. 1959, 1960, Detroit and Cleveland in 60 and 61. So a long 21-year career as a manager, mostly with the White Sox. This is the tail of his career. He was just a .477 winning percentage as a manager. And in 1961, the Indians were 77 and 83. Is that what it was? 77 and 83? Yes. Well, that's his manager. I think there were a couple games managed by another manager. All right. So Jimmy Dykes deciding whether or not to pull Mudcat Grant. It looks like he's going to keep him in, try to get that third out here in the fourth, as he is due up first in the next inning. Ooh, so he's going to walk Geiger now. That's going to load the bases for Yastrzemski. So Yastrzemski with an opportunity here to break it wide open. See if Yastrzemski can get out of his slump here. Looks like they're going to leave Grant in to face Yastrzemski, as Yastrzemski's been slumping so far. So here's the delivery by Grant. Oh, no. And when it rains, it pours. Yastrzemski just cannot seem to buy a hit. And he's going to fly out to Francona and left once again. But the Red Sox do score 4 and take a 4-1 lead. And Grant, looks like that's going to be it for him. They're going to lift Grant for a pinch hitter. So let's see here. So we'll take out, see what we have available for pinch hit for Grant. Grant went the distance in this game, pitching 9 innings, allowing only 3 hits and 2 runs, but does not have it in the replay here. So let's see, who did they use as pinch hitters? It looks like they used Mike De La Hoz. Well, he didn't. He was a defensive replacement. And Jack Kudzigan? And it looks like he was a defensive replacement too. So they did not get any at-bats officially. So we can pretty much go with anybody, as they were not official pinch hitters. So Don Dillard, let's check him out. And there he is. Yeah, we'll go with him. Not a bad hitter here. So Don Dillard comes in the pinch hit from Mudcat Grant, so his day is done. So Don Dillard, a .272 hitter in the season with 7 homers and 17 runs batted in. He'll lead it off in the top of the 5th for the Cleveland Indians. And he'll draw a walk. So the 4th walk of the day given up by Brewer. So his control has been not great. He has only allowed 3 hits and 1 run though. So he's managed to battle his way out of it when he's gotten in trouble. So Johnny Temple up now with a runner on first and nobody out. 1 for 2 today. And range play at Fenway. And that is going to be, it's going to be Jackie Jensen coming in and robbing Temple of a base hit. So a nice play by Jensen. Keeps Temple off the bases. So that'll bring up Jimmy Pearsall. Pearsall 0 for 2 on the day. Wertz holding on Dillard. And that's going to be a base hit. But Dillard will hold at second. So the tying runner come to the plate. Tito Francona. He's 1 for 2 of the runs scored. As Nixon goes out to talk to Brewer, goes back behind the plate. And he's going to hit a ground ball to third. Can they turn 2? Try for the force at third or the double play third to first. Well, since there's only a 1 rating under Francona, I am going to go for the short, get the lead runner at third. Otherwise, we'll get the middle runner at second. Or actually, no, double play third to first. So we'll get the runner at third anyway. So we're just going to go with that. So we're going to say, so we're going to go, if we say no, then it's going to be the third to first. So let's go no. So we are going to be able to turn 2 as we get the roll. So Schilling is able to throw over to Malzone at third. Is that the? Oh no, wait. Yeah, grounded to third. So that's strange. I don't know why they highlight Schilling there. But anyway, let's see what that double play is. Check that out after we're done here. I think that it should have been a third to first double play. So let's see who the Wirtz is coming up, and followed by Jensen. So the Indians are going to bring in, yeah, I guess Wirtz is a lefty, so we could bring in Bob Allen. He's not their main closer. So Bob Allen's going to come in. So Bob Allen had a 3-2 record in 61 with 3 saves with 3.73 on run average. 82 innings pitched, 96 hits allowed, 35 walks, and 42 strikeouts. So let's check that double play there. So Dillard out at third, Tito Francona out at first. Yep, so it is a hit right to third, so that it would be a 5-3 double play. All right. So Wirtz steps into the box. Wirtz 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. Allen looks in for the sign from Romano. Here's the windup in the pitch. Possible error on the ground here. Ooh. And it's a fly ball, so that's not in effect. So he flies out. Wirtz flies out the center for out number 1. Jackie Jensen up now. He's 1 for 2 with the run scored. And that'll be a base hit, so second hit of the day for Jensen. So Jensen with some speed at first base there. Power holding him on. Allen looks in for the sign. Malzone up now, 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Kicks and delivers. And that's going to be a base hit off the pitcher's card. Jensen holds at second. I think that was an infield single. So runners on first and second with 1 down for Russ Nixon. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored. Here's the delivery by Allen. Another range check at Fenway Park, or ballpark check. Oh, Russ Nixon, not a home run hitter, so this will not be a home run. Instead, he'll fly out to right, to deep right. So Jensen tags at second and moves to third. So that'll put runners at the corners with 2 down. Don Budden up now, having a great day at the plate. 2 for 2 with a double, 3 runs batted in. He had a 3-run double. Also scored a run. Chance to get for another RBI here. And looks like he'll get it, as that's going to be another base hit off Allen's card. As Jensen comes in to score the 5th Boston run. And Malzone will make his way to third. So it'll put runners at the corners for Brewer. He had an RBI triple today. He's 1 for 2. Wow. That was another possibility for Brewer. So a better hitting pitcher would have possibly had 2 home runs today. 6-5. But he'll end up flying out to right to end the inning. But the Red Sox tack on another run and lead at 5-1 through 5.5. So it'll be Power, Kirkland, and Romano up against Brewer. It's probably going to be Brewers in the last inning, as there is action in the Red Sox pen. So he walks the first batter. Kirkland up now, 1 for 1 with a walk. Fenway Park check here. Ooh, and that's going to be a base hit. And Power will advance to third. And they cut off the ball. And Kirkland's going to be thrown out at second. So Power at third. Now with the one down, as they get the trailing runner. So that brings up John Romano, hitless on the day. And he'll fly out to center. And looks like it's going to be deep enough, so Power will tag and score. So it's 5-2 now, Red Sox, and sacrifice fly by Romano. So 2 down and the base is empty for Woody Held. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. And he'll ground up to third for out number 3. So the Indians get a run back, and it's 5-2 Boston after 5.5. So top of the order for the Red Sox will be up against Allen, out for his second inning in relief. It'll be Schilling, Geiger, and Yastrzemski. So Schilling's walked 3 times today. And this time he'll ground out to Held at short for out number 1. Gary Geiger up now. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. And he strikes out. So 2 down, and the Red Sox 6 brings up Yastrzemski. Continues to slump 0 for 3 today. And he'll get a hit. Man, that hit off the Allen's pitcher card has been hit like at least 3 times today. So Yastrzemski gets a hit off the pitcher's card, and he'll reach. So he breaks his slump somewhat. So Yastrzemski reaches on a 2-out single. So it brings up Wirtz. It's likely to be Allen's last batter. Oh, too high of a roll there. 1-15 would have been nice. But it's still, this could be good still. And it's a base hit for Wirtz. Yastrzemski will hold at second, so runners on first and second with 2 down. Jackie Jensen with a chance to add to the Red Sox lead. He's 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. And it looks like that is going to be it for Bob Allen. As the Cleveland manager, who I forgot already. So as Jimmy Dykes comes to the hill to take out Allen. So got a couple of righties coming up. And no, we're not going to bring in the lefty. And it's going to be Barry Latman coming in relief. So Barry Latman had a 13-5 record with 5 saves for 2 earned run average, 177 innings pitched, 163 hits allowed, 51 walks, and 108 strikeouts. So he'll face Jensen with 2 down here. The runners on first and second. Jensen 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. And that'll be a base hit. Yastrzemski will come around the score. Wurzel is headed to third. And Jensen has himself an RBI single. So runners at the corners with 2 down, a run in from Malzone, 1 for 3. Oh, no home run. But it will be a double. So Malzone gets in on the action. And he'll score. Jensen will come around the score. So 2 runs in. And Malzone trying to get to third will be gunned down. But the run does count. So a 2-run double for Malzone. And the Red Sox lead is now 8-2. And that will be it for Brewer. His day is done. So we're going to let Ted Wills come in. He did pitch 6 1/3 innings. So he'll come in to pitch top of the 7th. Most likely we'll try to get a couple innings out of him. Anyway. Yeah, he had no save, so we don't want him to pitch all 3 innings. So Ted Wills comes in. He's pitched 4 innings with no decision. No saves. 4 hits allowed. 3 walks and a strikeout. So he'll face Phillips, the pitcher's spot, and Temple. So Bubba Phillips 0 for 2 on the day. And he immediately walks the first batter he faces. Not something you want to do when you come in as a reliever. Let's just check out. Yeah, he's not a good hitting pitcher, so we're going to pull Latman. And De La Hoz actually did come in as a defensive replacement, but we'll let him come in as a pinch hitter. So Mike De La Hoz comes in to hit in the pitcher spot. .260 hitter for the season with 3 homers and 23 runs batted in. So Wills will face La Hoz with Phillips on first. Down by 6. Oh, and that is going to be a wild pitch by Wills. So Phillips will move into scoring position. And he'll line out to Budden as Phillips dives back safely. So 1 down now for Johnny Temple, 1 for 3 on the day. And he'll line out to Malzone. So bring up Pearsall now, who's 1 for 3. And he'll walk Pearsall. So that'll put runners on first and second for Francona. 1 for 3 with a run scored. Range play. Oh, and that's going to be a fail range play as Geiger's cannot get to that one. It'll drop in front of him. Phillips will come around the score. Pearsall will hold at second. Geiger gets it back in. So it's 8-3 now. Brings up Vic Power 0 for 1 with a walk. Also scored a run. There is action in the Red Sox bullpen. Oh, and that's going to be a double. Francona will come around the score. So 2-run double for Power. And that'll be it for Wills, as he is just about as ineffective as he was in the actual game. In the actual game, he only lasted 1 1/3 innings. Oh, it was him that only lasted 1 1/3 innings. There was another pitcher who we're going to bring in now. I did not realize that. I forgot that he was the one who got the loss. So that will be it. So it's now a 3-run game. So Dave Hillman, he's the one who pitched 6 2/3 innings. He'll come in. So Hillman has not been very effective so far in 9 innings pitched. He's allowed 10 runs for a 10 ERA, 17 hits allowed, 3 walks, and 1 strikeout. See if he can get the last out here of the 7th. Willie Kirkland up now, 2 for 2 with a walk. He's been on base all 3 times. And he does not strike out, but will fly out to right. And Jensen makes the catch. And that'll do it for Cleveland. But they do score 3 runs, I think it was. Or was it 2 runs? 3 runs. Yeah, 3 runs on 2 hits. So ahead to the home half of the 8th. Said home half of the 7th. That's right. 7th inning stretch time now in Boston. As they sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Let's see here. Steve Hamilton. No, we're not going to bring him in. And we're bringing Bobby Locke, I guess. As good as any. So Bobby Locke comes in for the Indians. 4-4 record on the season with 2 saves, 4.55 earned run average, 95 innings pitched, 112 hits allowed, 36 walks, and 37 strikeouts. So he'll face Nixon, Budden, and the pitcher's spot, bottom third of the order. So Nixon 1 for 3 with a run scored. And he will ground out to Phillips at third for out number 1. So that brings up Budden. He's having a great day today at the plate. 3 for 3 with a double and 4 runs batted in. Also scored a run. And Fenway Park check here. And he'll fly out to left for out number 2. And let's see here. I think we're going to let Hillman hit for himself here, up by 3. Yeah, even though he's 0.98 too. I think a lot of these are generic for these pitchers, because a lot of them have 0.98 with 61 at-bats, I've noticed. Alright, so Hillman will hit himself with 2 down. Got to get these pitchers at bats somehow. Ooh, he might reach on air here, possibly. Nope. And he flies out for out number 3. So Hillman back on the hill. He'll face Romano, Held, and Phillips. In the top of the 8th. And that'll be a base hit for Romano. So it'll bring up Held. 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout. Wirtz holds him on. And he strikes out. So 1 down now. It'll bring up Bubba Phillips. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. And he draws the walk, so that'll bring up the tying run and Bobby Locke. And he'll definitely be lifted for a pinch hitter here, as there is action in the Red Sox pen. I guess we can bring in Walt Bond. So Walt Bond comes in as a pinch hitter. Just a 173 hitter with 2 homers and 7 runs batted in. So runners on first and second with 1 down. Oh, and he's going to hit a ground ball to second. But they're going to get the runner at second, back to first, not in time. So Bond hits into a force play at second, fielder's choice. So to put runners at the corners with 2 down, tying runs still up to the plate now with Johnny Temple, who's 1 for 4. Temple hit 3 homers in 61. Does not strike out. Very good eye against the righties. But he will fly out to Yastrzemski in left, and that'll do it. So Cleveland cannot get any closer. It remains 8-5. And let's see who they're going to bring in now. Top of the order, Schilling and Geiger, followed by Yastrzemski. And we're not going to bring in. We're probably going to bring in a lefty here, as we have 2 lefties coming up. Oh, give them one more chance, and then we'll pick one. Nope. Let's see. I think Johnny Antonelli's ERA is messed up there. 15254. So I think we're going to bring in Dave Stigman. So the lefty Stigman's going to come in now. Ooh, he's been struggling against the Red Sox, but he had a 2-5 record in the actual season with 4.64 earned run average, 64 innings pitched, 65 hits allowed, 24 walks and 48 strikeouts. So Schilling will lead it off. He's 0 for 1 with 3 walks. He walked his first 3 times up. And he walks for the 4th time today. So Schilling on to lead off the 8th of the Red Sox. So Geiger up now. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. Power holding on Schilling. And it's going to be a range play. And Pearsall will get to it as Schilling trots back to first. 1 down. Yastrzemski up now. Got a base hit his last time up. 1 for 4 with a run scored. And he draws a walk. So good eye by Yastrzemski. Moves Schilling in the scoring position with 1 down. Cleveland playing back for 2. Wart's up now. 1 for 3 with a walk and 2 runs scored. Possible error here. And that is going to be an error on Pearsall in center. Wow. Very sure-handed, but it was a tough play. Tough error on this one. And it's going to be a 2-base error as he drops the ball. So that'll bring home a run as Schilling comes in to score. Yastrzemski will hold at third. And Wirtz at second on the 2-base error. No RBI in the play. So Pearsall with an error there. Still only 1 down. Brings up Jackie Jensen having a fine day today. 3 for 4 with 3 runs scored and an RBI. And it'll be a range play at Fenway Park. And Power will not be able to get to this one. That was a tough play. And that'll be a base hit. So Yastrzemski will come around to score his 2nd run of the day. Wirtz will hold that 3rd, so it'll put runners at the corners. They'll zone up now 2 for 4. And that's a ground ball to second. This could be 2. I'm going to say yes. So I'm going to try to say they're going to try the double play. So Wirtz will come in to score. They get the runner at second. And Malzone gets himself an RBI ground out. So it's 11-5 now, Red Sox. So Russ Nixon up to the plate now. 1 for 4 with a run scored. And Stigman has it. Over to first, and that'll do it. The Red Sox add to their lead. Let's see here. As they get 3 runs. Let's see, wow. All right, let's check this out here. So Stigman, Schilling walked. Geiger lined out to center. Yastrzemski walked. Separate runners on first and second. And Wirtz had the error there, okay. So that would have been first and second with 2 down now. No runs were scored yet. And then Jensen got a single there. So I think 2 of those. Yeah, I think. Let's see here. Are all those runs unearned? So first and second with 1 down. And first and second with, yeah, first and second. It would have been first and second with 2 down if Wirtz's ball would have been caught. So then Jensen got a single. So that would have run 1 run home there. And then, yeah, I guess they could have got another run here. But this would have been the 3rd out, though, so. I think Malzone ground. Yeah, Malzone. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that 2 runs is right. All right, so 1 unearned run. Okay. So, all right, so we head to the top of the 9th. And we're going to leave Hillman in. Yeah, we'll leave Hillman in. We'll let him close it now. It's not a save situation, I don't think, so. Yeah, it shouldn't be a save situation. All right. So Hillman will face Pearsall, Francona, and Power if anybody gets on Kirkland. Pearsall 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Oh, and Pearsall with a chance to go deep here. So a 30% chance 1 through 6 will be a homer, and it's not. Said it's a deep fly ball to Yastrzemski and left, who hauls it in for out number 1. So that brings up Tito Francona having a fine day. 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. And he'll ground out to Schilling at second over to Wirtz for out number 2. So the Indians down to the last out. Big Power 1 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. 2 runs batted in. And that is going to be a ground ball to third. Malzone up with it over to first. And the Red Sox are victorious. As we have silent fireworks here for some reason. Oh, because the sound effects were silent. That's right. So all right. So Brewer gets the win. He's 2-2. Grant the loss. Dave Hillman with hit. Oh, he did get a save. Darn. I didn't think he pitched enough to get a save. Oh well, because I didn't want him to get a save because he didn't actually get one in the season. So, but oh well, not a big deal. All right, so let's check out that box score now. All right, let's get a little closer here. So Tom Brewer gets the win. He's now 2-2. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 2 runs, both of them earned, 5 walks. So he's a little wild. Did not have his best stuff. Only struck out 1. Ted Wills pitched 2/3 of innings, gave up 2 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. So he was very ineffective, like he was in the actual game. Walked 2 batters. Dave Hillman gets a save. Yeah, I don't think that should have been a save. Only pitched 2 1/3 innings. But I think he did come in when it was a save. So yeah, that was right. It was a 3-run lead, I think, when he came in. So I forgot about that. Oh well. So he gets a save. 2 1/3 innings pitched, 1 hit allowed, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. So Jim Grant gets the loss. 4 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 4 runs, all of them earned, 5 walks. So he was pretty wild too. 2 strikeouts, 1 wild pitch. Bob Allen, 1 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits allowed, 3 runs, all of them earned, 1 strikeout. Bobby Locke, 1 inning pitched, scoreless inning. Dick Stigman, 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 2 walks. And for the Red Sox, Chuck Schilling was 0 for 1 with 4 walks and a run scored. Gary Geiger 0 for 4 with a walk. Carl Yastrzemski, he was somewhat out of his slump. He was 1 for 4 with a couple of hits and a walk. With a couple of runs scored and a walk. So average now is 183. So it went up a little bit. Vic Wertz, 1 for 4 with 3 runs scored. Jackie Jensen, I think he might be player of the game, Jackie Jensen. 4 for 5 with 3 runs scored and 2 runs batted in. Frank Malzone was 2 for 5 with I think he had no, he didn't have that. Yes, he did. Actually, Frank Malzone had the bases clearing double. So he was 2 for 5 with 3 runs batted in. And, yeah. So Russ Nixon 1 for 5 with a run scored. Ooh, actually, Don Budden had a good day, too. Don Budden 3 for 4 with a run scored and 4 runs batted in. And a double. Tom Brewer 1 for 3 with a run scored. It was a triple. And Dave Hillman, pitcher Ted Wills did not get that bat, and Dave Hillman was 0 for 1. So player of the game for the... I think we're going to give it co-players of the game. Oh, boy. Frank Malzone was decent. He didn't score any runs, though. I think we're going to give it a co-players of the game to Jackie Jensen, who was 4 for 5 with 3 runs scored and 2 runs batted in, and Don Budden, who was 3 for 4 with a run scored and 4 runs batted in. Yeah, we're going to give it to Don Budden and Jackie Jensen, co-players of the game, with a close second to Frank Malzone. So for Cleveland, Johnny Temple was 1 for 5. Jimmy Pearsall was 1 for 4 with a run scored. Tito Francona, rest in peace, was 2 for 5 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Vic Power was 1 for 3 with a run scored and 2 runs batted in. Double. Also walked. Pearsall had a walk too. Willie Kirkland was 2 for 3 with a walk. John Romano 1 for 3 with an RBI. Woody Held 0 for 3 with a walk. Bubba Phillips 0 for 2 with a walk. I mean, 0 for 2 with 2 walks and a run scored. Jim Grant did not get an at-bat. Oh, yes, he did. He walked. Don Dillard, pinch hitter, walked. Bob Allen and Barry Latman did not get at-bats. Mike De La Hoz 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter. And Walt Bond 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter. Dick Stogan did not get an at-bat. So that is it. As the Red Sox improved now to 11-15. So they're 1 game ahead of their pace. They were 10-16 after this game. So they'll start with tomorrow. They'll go with game 2 of the series. So join us then. So thank you for joining me. This has been Eric from Higher Ground Gaming. My co-host, Mr. Brody here, snoozing away off camera. So take care, God bless, and we'll see you in the next video. And thanks you all for watching. And if you like these videos, definitely like and subscribe. And check out our other channels that are just like us, like Our Red Sox Fan, RNG IDP, Baseball Demos, Tabletop Baseball Plus, Clinton Parks, ID Gesture, and many, many others. So a lot of new baseball stations added too. So Bleacher Bums Gaming, I think, too, among others. So thank you for watching, and God bless. Bye-bye now.